And Pete, we are ready for 40 laps of fireworks.
Yeah, now the strategies come into place. An extra distance race for the late models today. And the question is, do you want to get to the front and stay there or wait it out a little bit? We're going to find out momentarily as the pace car peels off and the double green flags are in the air to get them underway side by side down into turn one.
And Ben Mkhitaryan is going to beat everybody into the second corner, but here comes Materis. And Materis, he's able to gallop in the lead. He gets hit from behind, goes sideways, but is able to save it.
Yeah, Materis will lead him down into turn one. The 31 of Ryan Morgan right there with him. And also on the outside, the support our troops, number 22 of Jennison. He'll slip into the third spot.
Buddy Cloutier is in fourth, getting a response from Pit Cat. Here comes Morgan as he tries to thunderball his way into the lead. He has momentum, he has the leverage, and he is getting the lead by about the length of a toothpick.
Yeah, just the nose out in front as they cross the line, getting a little shove from Jennison to help him get out in front. Now by a car length, and Jennison looking for some running room as well in that second spot.
Yeah, some friendly fire from Jennison as he pushed Morgan into the lead, and now Jennison wants it. He blow torches his way down low. The tomahawk is out for Jennison, but he doesn't have enough energy to get by Morgan.
Not that time, as Morgan will lead him down into turn one. Jennison hanging tough right there on the left rear quarter panel as they head out of turn two on the backstretch. Then Materis and the 91 of Woody Pitcat race side by side into turn three.
Dennis Gluchacki is in the top five like he was during his qualifying round, venturing to the outside with Jared Materis, and he might have lost some ground and momentum in his battle with Woody Pitcat.
Here is Pitcat down underneath and will go into a solid third, taking the 0-3 of Gluchacki with him. Gluchacki now working the inside of Materis in that race for the fourth spot.
One of the guys who usually comes on strongly in the second half of a race is William Wall. Right now he has maneuvered his way into the top six. Jennison going down low, trying to barnstorm his way underneath Morgan. He is 1/4 of the way there as they go into the third turn.
Yeah, he gets just about up to the driver's door as they race through that third and fourth turn, but Morgan with the advantage out of turn two can get on the throttle just a tad earlier and will beat him down the straightaway into turn one.
Venturing to the outside is Woody Pitcat, looking for some adrenaline there. And Gluchacki has made it a four-way battle for the lead. Here comes Jennison again. Determination, perspiration, trying to move in, and Morgan will not let it happen.
Yeah, Jennison testing that inside early in the race when the tires are still pretty strong and the handling is good, but he slips up a little bit between one and two, and that gives an advantage to Woody Pitcat.
And he capitalizes on the outside, but Jennison is fighting back on the inside. Power surge for Jennison as he tries to duck underneath Pitcat. Can't get by him.
Got to work a little harder down on the bottom like that. Jennison is hanging tough, but Pitcat, again, is able to carry the momentum up there in the second groove out of turn two, race down the backstretch. But meanwhile, the 91 right up on the back bumper of Morgan really has no room to go, and he has to contend with Jennison, who continues to hound him from behind.
They almost came together like two cymbals in an orchestra, and now Jennison is dropping back into fourth, so he has lost his momentum. William Wall fifth, Materis is sixth, but the man in the spotlight is a 31 of Ryan Morgan. And ever since coming back from a broken foot, he has been one of the strongest late model drivers at Thompson.
Well, he's got his foot in it down the backstretch. He's about a half a car length ahead of Woody Pitcat. Pitcat stays within striking distance, and Gluchacki's been able to get around Jennison. Jennison, who has settled into a steady pace at this point, finds himself in fourth after battling for the lead, and closing on him is William Wall in the number 4.
We have a pretty good battle behind Wall. Materis fighting off Matt Lewinsky low, and Nick Johnson is also involved. That is a fight for sixth place. Up at the front, Pitcat jackknifing his way to the inside, and Pitcat has some firepower, and he also has the lead.
He had a great run down into turn one and was able to make the pass and slide up into a more comfortable groove once he got by Morgan. He's the leader and starts to pull away. Morgan now has to contend with Gluchaki as he's right there in the 0-3.
There is some stamina in that 0-3 car as they blockbuster their way off the corner. Morgan still has a spot. Woody Pitkat has never won driving for Jeff Hartwell and Hartwell Motorsports. And right now he is leading by an SUV over two pretty good drivers, Gluchaki and Morgan.
They are side by side. Gluchaki working the bottom. It worked for Woody Pitkat. He's trying to make it work on Morgan. They stay together down the backstretch. Jennison watches from fourth, and now William Wall sizing up Jennison to make a move.
And Wall looks like he has some adrenaline as he ducks underneath the 22 and cannot get by the 22 of Jennison, at least not yet. And while there is chaos behind him, Woody Pitkat is able to fortify his lead.
Yeah, Pitkat continues to drive away and has opened it up here out of turn number 4 and across the stripe. Morgan, in his battle with Gluchaki, has settled down, at least for the moment. Gluchaki has elected to pull up and follow him down the backstretch. Jennison still trying to fend off William Wall, who's got a head of steam going into turn 3 with that number 4.
And Wall, let's see if he can take advantage of that steam. Not yet, and Jennison is still able to protect his fourth place position. All by his lonesome at the front of the field. Woody Pitkat, he is in his own solar system at the front of the lead. Gluchaki looking to make some progress. Morgan is vulnerable. They come off turn number 4, trying to cannonball his way into second is Gluchaki, and once again he comes up short.
Well, he makes it stick out of turn 4 on the inside this time. They are side by side through the first and second turn on the backstretch. Gluchaki going to hang tough there on the inside. Morgan fighting to keep him down low. They just barely touch through that third and fourth turn.
Second through fifth could fit in a bikini. That is how intense the racing is there. Gluchaki, once again, inside position. Will this be the time he gets by Morgan? Not yet, as those two drivers are body pierced together. Now Jennison making a move. He almost went high into the corner. As they hit the line, the work is finally paid off for Gluchaki. He is in second.
And he's got half the race to go. 20 down and 20 to go for the late models. And what a battle for both second and for fourth as they head down the backstretch. Woody Pitkat loving it. Looks up into the mirror and sees them all running side by side and knows that he can just set sail with a very comfortable lead, now better than halfway through the late model feature.
Yeah, if those guys are concentrating on each other, they can't concentrate on him. Morgan gets his second place back as he was hooked up on the outside. Now Lewinsky Lowe and Nick Johnson, they want to become players in that fight for second as they are quickly moving up.
Yeah, they are catching the rest of that pack. It's a great battle. Gluchaki could work the bottom only for so long before he really needed to get out, let the car drift a little bit, cool those tires off, and give chase to Morgan. So he now has fallen back a couple of lengths behind Morgan in that battle for second. But William Wall doesn't give up. He stays on the bottom of the racetrack and just barely touching Jennison as they race out of turn 4. Wall loses a little momentum and has to pull up behind Jennison.
Now, when you keep driving that car on the inside, eventually it will be like driving a nuclear power plant. The tires get awful hot. Here comes Wall going after Jennison and Woody Pitkat. You almost need a Hubble telescope to find out where Pitkat is.
Right now he's heading off the second turn and down the backstretch, but continues to open up that lead. Morgan can only watch him get
We have
further
problems
away.
in turn 4.
Caution is out.
Warren is stranded in the corner. So John Warren will bring out the first yellow of the event, and it comes on lap number 24. So that was a long green flag run to start this race, and that was a yellow. I don't think Woody Pitkat is too fond of it.
No, he had really checked out into a comfortable lead. This is going to be very interesting now as we're 24 laps into it. Normally, just a handful of laps before the end of it. But remember, we're going 40 laps. Changes the characteristic of the cars, obviously, particularly those guys that have been battling on the bottom, using up the rubber on those cars, burning off the fuel. We tend to see a little change in handling characteristic at this point of the race. So this is going to make for an interesting restart.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it affects the 91 of Pitcat. Buddy Charette goes on to pit road. The Jeff Hartwell team, they have done everything to that car except hire an exorcist, as they've had problems with it the last 2 years. But it looked decent in the icebreaker as they had a top 5 finish. And today it has been really good as Woody has been able to put that car wherever he wants. There is a high groove, the low groove, and the Pitcat groove, as he can go wherever that car wants to wander. Ryan Morgan had the lead for a good portion of this race. He is in second. And Dennis Gluchaki, and I think you'd have to say he is a feel-good story of the race. Right now, we always feel good when we get a pit report from Dave Barival.
Checked in with Mike.
Electing to go to the inside. Now, most of the time, the leaders go to the outside. Pitcat is not doing that.
Pace car is off, looking for the green flag. It's in the air, and here they come out of turn 4. Pitcat, by a half a car length at the line, will lead him down into turn 1.
And Pitcat has some firepower. He's trying to smoke bomb his way to the lead. Right there with him, Ryan Morgan. Morgan gets a schnoz of that car out in front. Pitcat trying to retaliate.
Yes, and Morgan trying to hold him down, trying to pinch him down through that third and fourth turn. Morgan retakes the lead in the number 31. Pitcat pulls up behind him and will follow him out of turn 2.
Remember, early in the race, it took a few laps for the Pitcat car to get up to full power. Jennison in third, holding off Wall. Jennison now looks menacing as he goes to the outside of the 91 car. But Ryan Morgan back in front with 14 laps to go.
Yeah, Morgan leads them off of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Woody loses a little bit out of that momentum that he had out of turn 2 and kind of lost some ground to Morgan. And Jennison giving chase up there on the outside. He's still trying to shake off William Wall, who stays right with him.
One of the faster guys on the track right now, Brian Tagg in car number 9. He is having his own personal battle with Rick Jennis, now getting out of line. William Wall, as he tries to get some bite down low against Jennison. Jennison going up high and cannot move in close enough to Pitcat, but Jennison having a pretty smooth ride.
Yeah,
trouble on the front straightaway. Warren going to the sidewall. On the outside, Pete, we kind of expected that he would. So we'll see if he can get the jump on Woody Pitcat for the second straight restart.
He'll try it from the outside as the pace car peels off onto pit road. And all eyes are on the flag stand where they now have the green flag in the air. And Morgan gets a good run and this time takes William Wall with him.
So Wall trying to take second away from Pitcat. Jennison is fourth. Nick Johnson has moved up to the top 5. Pitcat trying to strike down low against Morgan. They go into the middle of turns 3 and 4. Pitcat is there, but Morgan is able to weather the storm. We have a problem. Keith Scalia, he bombarded the wall, and he is headed off the track. 15th. Right now, we are going to have some action, a rematch between Morgan and Pitcat.
Well, will they do anything differently this time? Pace car doesn't. It pulls right down onto pit road, and they're watching for that green flag, and the bottom row gets the jump, and I don't think it's going to stick. The green flag does not go in the air, and the caution flag comes back out. So they will try it again as they line up side by side down into turn 3.
Yeah, they had to do something differently. Throw the yellow. Let's see what happens now. Pitcat on the inside, and Morgan, he is able to explode like lava coming out of a volcano.
This time they're side by side. Pitcat, ever so loose, has to gingerly work down the bottom of the first and second turn and give it up to the 31. Now he's going to contend with William Wall. Wall up on the outside, and that number 4 is trying to motor his way around. So the inside groove, not the preferred groove at this point of the race.
And Wall is one of those guys that gets stronger. As the race gets longer, he gets rid of Pitcat and now has the crosshair set on Ryan Morgan.
Morgan is able to fend him off, at least for the time being, as he'll follow him through that third and fourth turn, look for an opening here on the front stretch. He'll try the bottom, and they're side by side across the stripe.
Derek Luchacki making noise again as he tries to shot his way underneath the 22 of Jennison, so he is still a factor. Wall looks like he's ready to crank it up.
Yeah,
here comes Wall, halfway underneath Morgan.
Sticks the nose down there and see if he can get momentum out of turn number 4. But again, Morgan on the outside is able to maintain that momentum and hold off William Wall for the time being. The longer Wall has to work the bottom, the tougher it's going to be. And that time he gets a little loose out of turn number 2 and will slide up behind Morgan. Meanwhile, Woody Pitcat's caught right up to Wall's bumper.
Yeah, Wall was closer to Pitcat than he was to Morgan. Now he gets closer to the 31. Wall doesn't just have his foot in it, he has his whole body in it. Derek Luchacki trying to get underneath Pitcat. That is a fight for third. But the drama is up at the front between Morgan and William Wall.
Morgan has bought himself a little bit of breathing room, at least at this point, as he sails across the stripe. But William Wall sizing him up for another run. And next time he wants to make it count. So he'll try to make the pass when he knows he thinks he's got enough to get around him as things quiet down up at the front, at least for the moment.
Now Gluchaki, as he got tired of trying to get underneath Pitcat, he went to the upper groove and almost ran into Jennison. Nick Johnson, one of the unsung heroes in this race. Car number 6 is running 6. But up at the front, Morgan has some daylight between himself and William Wall.
5 laps to go this time by. 5 to go is the signal from the flag stand. And Morgan now has a full car length and a half over William Wall. And the question is whether Wall is settling back to give it a run in the last laps or if he's shown all his cards. We'll find out because there's only 4 laps to go this time.
I think he might still have at least one more card buried underneath his sleeve. Pitcat stampeding in third. Now he makes a move against Wall and did not have enough adrenaline to make it pay.
Pretty good separation between first and second at this point. They'll come across the stripe this time with only 3 laps to go. And they're going to have to pour it on if anybody's going to change position. Woody Pitcat again trying to try the bottom underneath William Wall, but just can't pry it open.
Yeah, he's trying to scalpel his way underneath Wall. It is not working. Morgan, will he receive one more attack from either Wall or Pitcat? We are headed to the final 2 laps, and Ryan Morgan is very close to nailing the first extra distance race of the season at Thompson.
And here comes William Wall once again trying to mount a charge. Meanwhile, he's got to keep an eye on Woody Pitcat, who's right with him, looking at the bottom. They'll come under the white flag this time.
Now Nick Johnson trying to get into the top 5 against Mark Jennison. But the drama is in turn 2. That's where Morgan is hanging out. Here comes Wall. Does he have a trick that he can use? They go into turn 3. Wall going to work. Dive bomb move as he tries to blast his way into the lead. They are together heading down the front straightaway. And it appeared to be the number 31 of Ryan Morgan.
A full 40 laps. You did a great job surviving some of those restarts, but take us through the last, matter of feet coming down this front stretch.
Well, I knew Willie Wall would have a fast car, and I just had to protect the bottom, and that's all I did. And to be honest, I didn't think I won. I thought he had me, but it's hard to tell from in here. So.
Well, just at the scoring loop that got you I'm talking about inches ahead, like thousandths of a second, and you come home a winner of an extra distance race. It's got to feel good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I got to thank the car owner, Jay, Santino, my girlfriend, Brittany, Zach, Kim, my father. Tony Macrino's here today. Bruce, my spotter. Just everybody. Brooklyn's Country View Restaurant. Larry's Auto Machine, Magnus Racing Transmissions, and today we were just fast enough.